On today's episode of Inside the Lens, I go to Guatemala. Hello everybody, welcome to episode 4 of Inside the Lens with me, Jesse Martineau. Yes, that's right. Recently I was in Guatemala. Yes, I was in a very hot country with this beard. Today's episode's a little bit different. I want to give you a glimpse into the trip that we went on. This time I actually got to take my wife, Nicky, which was very nice. Very nice indeed. You're back again? Seriously? Now obviously when I go to these places I love to take photos, but this time in Guatemala it wasn't really about that for me. We went there to help people. I don't just help people on YouTube, you know. But it was a great trip. We had a great time. And so right now, let's watch a little bit of me and Nicky's trip to Guatemala. Me and Nicky set off for Guatemala, or as the Spanish say, Guatemala. I always get made fun of for saying it wrong. I get to travel around quite a bit, and so it was actually really awesome taking Nicky this time, and we hardly got in any fights. Guatemala is a beautiful country, beautiful people, beautiful cities, beautiful tourist destinations. Amazing hotels, some amazing resorts. There's amazing plant life in Guatemala. It rains quite a bit, so everything's green, and a lot of it's still green even in the dry season. And there's some wildlife that we don't normally see here in North America. But there's another story here. It's a story of the people. I think everywhere I've gone, it's always been about the people for me. Yeah, I love seeing awesome landscapes. I love seeing great architecture. But I always remember the people more than anything else. And I'm actually glad because I think that's how it should be. And so that was the purpose of this trip, was to build relationships with people, to help people, to give to people. Very first place we went was a very rural area called Llano Grande. It's a school, has no power, no running water. All the water has to be pumped up from a well. But the organization me and Nicky were with, called Viva, has a feeding program, and they feed many students in the region at many schools a few times a week. And for a lot of these students, it's the best meal they actually get. As soon as we pulled up in the van and the team got out, we were swamped with kids saying, "Hola, hola, hola," wanting to hug us. And that's actually what I want to really point out of Guatemala. The people are incredibly friendly. I mean, I look pretty crazy with my big beard, a big white guy that's walking down the street. But if you look at them and say hola, they're going to smile and say it back. Me and Nicky had a great opportunity to see some family lives actually changed. You see, in Guatemala, outside of the major cities, they cook most of their food over an open flame. Because they need so much wood, there's no other choice, no other option but to burn green wood. And green wood really puts a lot of smoke into the air. And so every morning when we'd wake up, there'd be a fog of smoke all through where we were staying. If you can imagine, smoke inhalation actually isn't that good for you. And while there's a lot of food in Guatemala, most people are actually malnourished. And it's due to smoke inhalation from cooking their very food. It's kind of ironic. But there's an organization that Viva works with called Stoves for Life. Now, Stoves for Life goes into a home, removes the old place that they cooked on, and puts in a new high-efficiency wood-burning stove. This stove burns 75% less wood than they would normally use day to day. With burning way less wood, there's way less smoke. And a lot of people have to buy wood, so it actually saves them a lot of money, and they can put it towards better food, or in a lot of cases, towards medicine. And so what you're watching right now is a stove actually being constructed. It's a very simple procedure, and it doesn't take much. But the most important thing of this, besides the efficiency, is that it actually has a chimney, and you're gonna see the smoke actually starting to go outside of the building. Now, I just wanna put a little plug in here, because these stoves are about $300 American, which isn't a lot, but it's way more than most of these people could ever dream to afford just for a stove. And so I'm going to put a link in the description below, one to Viva and one to the Stoves for Life page, and how you can get involved. It happens all the time where companies get behind Stoves for Life and raise a bunch of money and then actually send a team down to install the stoves in all the people's homes. And so if that's something you're interested in doing, I really encourage you to check it out. It's pretty awesome. It was actually Nicky's favorite part of the whole trip. Well, that and going to the beach. Nicky loves the beach a lot. And so we went to the beach. Now, we could have driven like a few hours and tried to go around to the beach, but there's a shortcut. And it's an amazing shortcut, and a shortcut I'll never forget. See, we were rolling around in a 15-passenger van, and so we took this shortcut, and what you have to do is drive this van onto this stupid little barge. Now, here in Canada, I don't think we deem this ship sail-worthy. But why not throw a 15-passenger van on it? And you know what? Why not throw another car on it too? And you can't see it here, but they decided to throw a couple motorbikes on there as well. So we're cruising along the river, everything's going well, and then we sunk. Just kidding, we didn't sink. We actually made it fine. But here's a guy trying to get off the barge. Oops. The crazy thing that we kind of forget is that Guatemala is actually part of North America, yet it's so different from Canada and the United States, of course. So I encourage you to check the links out below, read more about viva and Stoves for Life, see if you can do anything to help these people today. If you can't support financially, maybe even just share the link so other people can see this as well. And that's a brief look at me and Nicky's trip down to Guatemala. Hope to go again soon. We had an excellent time in Guatemala. It's extremely hot there, so if you ever go, prepare yourself. I wish I'd prepared myself. Guatemala is an amazing place. I recommend you going there. It's relatively safe. You just can't be an idiot like you. But there's actually tons of incredible things to take photos of if that's what you're into. Volcanoes, ocean, amazing landscape, amazing people. I could seriously go and spend a month there and still have many things left to photograph. One of these times I have to actually do that. But without further ado, still in Guatemala, it's the Snap of the Week. Antigua in the mountains. Great old city. I'll show you lots of that today. Nicky, what are you doing? We're here in Antigua at a restaurant, browsing the orchids. That is Antigua, Guatemala, down there.
No, gracias.
So much stuff that we don't need. How much?
40.
40? Deal! So just in this little courtyard getting some food. It's a nice little fountain. And let's see. What the? Where am I? Is this? Here we are at a romantic dinner.
Hubba.
With like 10 other people. Still nice stuff. If you're not on Snapchat yet, what is wrong with you? Snapchat's amazing. I've even got Nicky to download the app. So that's saying something. The problem is she can't figure out a username. So maybe in the comments below, you could help her. Leave her an idea. A little side note, put nothing with the word ginger in it. She loathes that with her entire being. As I said, a little different episode of Inside the Lens, but that's what this show is about. What's inside the lens? Besides glass and little spinny gear things and electronics. This is this national symbol for electronics. You just do that. But as we go through episode to episode, the idea is just to let you inside of my life. I love the feedback I've been getting so far. Thank you. Please keep it coming. I love the comments, even more than the likes. Please comment below. I try to answer every single comment across all of my social networks. So please leave a comment. I'd love to get to know you more. On another note, you may have noticed me switch all of my branding across my social networks. I'm really pushing the idea of us creating something versus just capturing a moment. I know there's so many of you out there that have the amazing ability to create something. And I'm not just talking about painting or photographing or drawing something. There's people that can create business almost out of thin air, it seems. And so anyone that has the ability to create, everybody, please use the hashtag #create on anything creative that you post. I want to flood those hashtags with actual creativity. Because the other day I was there and I saw a lot of things that I shouldn't have seen. So remember everybody, don't just capture moments, create them.